Expo. New York City, June 5th through the 7th. It's a great time. It's going to be the second year out there. And of course, I went out there last year with Blog World New Media Expo. And some of the clips that you're going to be seeing in a few minutes are Who Are You? People that were at Blog World New York last year that will probably be making the trip this year. Pretty cool stuff. I got tons of video of New York City, of Blog World, of the Book Expo, and a lot of other events that were happening out in New York City that week. It was a fun time, and I know exactly what to expect this time for New York. If this is the first time that you're attending Blog World and New Media Expo in New York, or coming to New York at all, it's a treat for everybody. I'm going to tell you right now, it's an amazing time. Just to soak in the city for 4 days is just not enough time. You've got to do it again and again and again. So I'm going to be soaking it up for another 4 days. I can't wait to go visit Times Square, visit the memorial. I didn't get to see Ground Zero Memorial. I'm going to be doing that this year, so on and so forth. Lots of things, as well as a way for you to find out what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong with your blogs, your podcasts, your video casts, your marketing, your social media, anything that deals in this space. You should be part of Blog World and New Media Expo. All right, well, check it out. We're over at blogworldexpo.com. This is the official site for you to register. And not only can you register for the event, which there's still time to do, you can also register for a virtual ticket. If you can't make the event and you want to be a part of the action, get yourself a virtual ticket. There's great ways to do it. You hit that register now button, which is right about here on the top right-hand side of your browser window. You can just check it out. All right, well, I sat down and I talked with one of these people. His name is Ray Ortega, and we sat down for a 5-question hangout, and of course, it goes a little something like this. All right, and we're live. Hey, this is Jeffrey Powers here, and we're here with Ray Ortega of the website podcastersstudio.com. How you doing today, Ray?
Good, Jeffrey. Thanks.
First question: this is your first time at a Blog World, so what are you expecting to see and feel and hear and touch and smell and taste at Blog World New Media Expo New York 2012?
Well, probably I expect to taste a lot of bad cafeteria food because I'm going to be at the conference center. But no, hopefully we get some good food. But seriously, I'm hoping to just meet all the people that I've been talking to for years online, right? Or know through my own community, producing my own podcast. I know some of those people are going to be at Blog World. And so it's just a cool chance to meet or to take some of those online relationships and transfer them to the real world, or IRL, I think they say, in real life, meeting some cool people. Okay, so my second question works with names.
Who are you expecting to meet there that you really want to meet, that you've talked to on a hangout or talked to through a Twitter or something like that, but just really wanted to meet?
Well, there are the superstars, I guess you want to call them, the keynote speakers. And to be honest with you, I haven't set up my schedule yet. And because I've been pretty busy with just organizing for these 3 panels, getting together with the other people that I'm on the panels with via Google Hangouts and GoToMeetings and all this stuff, I've been busy doing that. So actually I'm not the best planner, I guess you could say. So my train ride, which is a good 3 to 4 hour train ride, was planning to really map out my schedule then. So to be honest with you, I don't even know who some of the big names going, but again, just the people that I've been dealing with for years are actually more exciting. Folks like Dave Jackson from the School of Podcasting's Morning Announcements. I sort of call him my digital mentor or my podcasting mentor in a way, because he's been producing a podcast about how to podcast since I started listening to podcasts way back in like 2005.
Well, that brings to the next question. Question number 3. You've been to New York before, but it's been a long time since you've been to New York. Are you expecting to do anything? Are you going to do anything extracurricular in New York besides attend all the Blog World parties?
Well, I'm coming in on the day of and leaving the last day, so it's going to be pretty. My schedule's going to be focused tightly around Blog World, and I imagine stuff going on with people who are at Blog World after, the conference, the day of the conference, maybe going out at night and hanging out. So I expect a lot of to bring those online relationships into real life and really solidify them and meet new people. So I'm expecting it to be pretty Blog World intensive. I do affiliates with B&H, and they are a short walk. And B&H is sort of a Disneyland for podcasters. I mean,
Yes.
if you're a gear nut like most of, like I am and most of my audience is, hopefully I'm going to get a few people together as like a meetup and go over to B&H. So, other than that, I don't have too much planned.
Is there anything else that you're doing besides podcasting? I noticed a couple cameras behind you. Do you also do photography, or?
I do photography, but I got into photography as I got into DSLR video. So my first podcast was a video podcast all about picking out fresh fruits and vegetables. It's just mini tutorials, and that's how I taught myself video podcasting. And so I'm heavily into DSLR video making. As a videographer first, those cameras obviously make the best amazing images for video, but they also make great photos as well. So again, I said I'm working with B&H, and that relationship is continuing to grow. And so there's a big box of new gear back there to demo out and do some reviews on. So DSLR video, I do YouTube videos. I encourage podcasters to get on YouTube if possible. I really push video. I think a lot of people, when they hear podcasting, they immediately just think audio, but video is just as much a part of it. And so I'm really into video, and whether that's podcast or just shooting video in general.
Finally, what do you podcast with? What are you planning to podcast with when you get out there? Are you planning to podcast if you get out there? I know that's like several questions in one, but it's one question.
I'm not going to be doing any podcasts when I'm out there. I mean, 3 different panels and just meeting people, pretty much overwhelmed. I have in the past gone to pod camps where I've, brought along a buddy of mine's gone with, so he can run the camera and listen to audio. I got the microphone. We're interviewing people, but I don't have any plans to do that because I'm going to be pretty busy, and it's going to be kind of, I feel like it's just going to just fly on by. It's going to be in and out, unfortunately.
Okay.
But with a new baby at home, I got to get back home. But
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very excited about meeting everyone and, focusing on those relationships. So I'm not going to get a chance to break out the microphone, but, I got an iPhone. So if I feel the need for some kind of mobile interview, boom, I'm good.
So what I do is help people put video online very easily, and I tell them, don't be intimidated when you hear it's going to cost you $8,100 to get started. Those people, it's not true. I mean, it could be true. You could spend that much, but what I say is use the camera that you have on you. Like an iPhone these days can shoot HD quality video, and there are ways, I teach all these different ways of putting video online that are really cool. So for example, the iPhone, if you want better video, you can add a microphone to it, and there's this new microphone, it's called the iRig mic. Plugs right in, gives you brilliant audio. Another thing I teach is, look for the light. Here we have nice studio lights. If we didn't have those, I'd take this camera and maybe go outside or go find a nice well-lit area. So what I do is teach people how to easily put video online, and I wrote a book called Get Seen, and there's a ton of tips like that in the book too.
All right. Great times and great interview with Ray Ortega. Thank you very much for that 10 minutes of your time. Of course, if you're on a Google Plus Hangout and you see me on a Google Plus Hangout, say, hey, I want to be interviewed for 5 questions. It will get to you, and I'll ask you 5 questions, and we'll get it up onto YouTube. And we'll also be doing this for Las Vegas. So when New York is done and you're already planning your trip to Las Vegas for Blog World Las Vegas, which is January 5th through the 8th, then you can just call me up and say, hey, I want to do 5 questions. And of course, you can talk about yourself, your Twitter handle, your website, where you're from, what you do, and how people can contact you. That's as simple as that. All right, we just headed over to blogworld.com, the official blog of Blog World and New Media Expo. Now check this out. There's a lot of bloggers that are out there blogging, writing articles, submitting them, and of course they're getting posted on blogworld.com. If you're a blogger or a podcaster or a videocaster and you want to put some content on blogworld.com, you can let me know, Jeff at blogworldexpo.com, or of course you can check out and talk with any of the other bloggers out there at Blog World Expo at blogworld.com and submit articles. But check out some of the articles. Things like Are You Blogging for the Wrong Tribe by John. Whoops, that just flipped over too quick. John Falchetto. We have in the mobile side, Knowing Me, Knowing You. Yes, that's an ABBA song. Simon Salt. Of course, as we go down, we'll find out New Media Newsbreak, Cyberbullying in the Olympic Foursquare and more. Olympics on Foursquare and more, by Allison. Johnny Truant talked about the virtual ticket will feel even closer to being there live this year and why that is true. And of course, a whole bunch of other news. We talk on the blog. We talk about new products coming out. We review products coming out. We talk about people and social marketing and social networking, infographics, and anything else that has to do with blogging, podcasting, videocasting, marketing, social media, or whatnot in this space. And that's pretty cool. Speaking of which, what we're going to do next is we're going to do a special little segment I like to call Your Twitters as Read by Jerry Seinfeld.
Blog World Expo, I have a book? Wait, no, I don't. Can I sell old clothes in the store? My book isn't done yet. Oh, Book Futures. Dave, Blog World, my pleasure to note your awesomeness. BWENY. Charlie Curve, that's what I'm talking about. That's it. I'm adding Kenny Loggins music to my BWENY presentation. Love Your Perspective, the brand builder. I'm moderating panel on big brands in Pinterest and BWENY, SMBS. Link, share, blog. Thanks. Going to be fun. BWENY. Deb NG, Liz Strauss. Planning is good for you, and I'll see you soon at New York. BWENY. Dave Ursillo, I'm coming in $77 is high. Early bit over, but don't forget BEA access, lot more there. Are there any parties or functions on Thursday night for BWENY? Trying to decide if I'm supposed to stay in the city overnight, then to expand. Lynette Radio, yes, we have a reception at 7 o'clock on Thursday. It's walking distance from Javits, BWENY. Meet rockstar lifestyle entrepreneurs like Lou Monago, Pat Flynn, and Arts Affairs at Blog World New York City, BWE, BWENY, Bentley, GA Go, expand.
And I'm here with Deb. How do you pronounce your last name, Deb?
It's Ing. Like
Ing.
there's an I in front of it.
Okay.
Okay, but my father-in-law was too cheap to buy a vowel, so we're just doing it with letters.
All right, so Vanna White never visited your home. And we're here with Deborah Ing, who basically she works with Blog World and New Media Expo. What was your role? What is your role now?
I am the director of community for Blog World. I started there as the conference director, and I moved over this past January to be the director of community. I basically am in charge of talking to people and getting them to drink the Kool-Aid. So
it's good Kool-Aid, folks. I know. I drank it.
Well, it depends on which drink ticket we give you at the party. So I'm tasked with, finding out the wants and needs of our community and evangelizing to other people to come visit our community and teach content creators what Blog World is all about. So my normal day involves reading a lot of email because a lot of people have questions, browsing the social networks to see who's talking about us, who has questions, who I can have a conversation with, and then a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff, creating content strategy, creating a social media policy, comment policies, working on new ways to interact, working with our technical team for to discuss maybe new programs that need to go live online,